everyone, and welcome to 1923 Main Street.
Home of the Daddy-Daughter Disney Travel Podcast. We're your hosts.
I am Mike Bello-Braddock.
And I'm Amelia Bello-Braddock. And today we'll be searching Walt Disney World for some hidden Mickeys and other secret surprises.
Hidden Mickeys. Who doesn't love a good hidden Mickey? So we are going to talk a little bit about hidden Mickeys today.
And you may think you've seen hidden Mickeys, but you're wrong.
Well, yeah. And some other secret surprises, which we'll get to.
Yes.
Sort of like hidden Mickey-ish, but we'll get to those next. But before we started, I don't want to bore you with a history lesson, Amelia, because I know you're going to accuse me of that. But I do want to talk about how hidden Mickey started. Do you know how they started?
I think they started by Walt Disney saying, this would be a fun game. Let's hide our mascot.
That is not exactly how they started, as the story goes, as I understand it. So the truth is, no one really knows who started it or how or when they started. It was just at some point, an Imagineer or Imagineers decided, when they were working on their ride or attraction, whatever was the first one, to put a little hidden Mickey in it. And so it sort of just started to snowball from there, and it spread from Imagineers, started doing it back and forth. And so it wasn't too long before it became sort of a joke among the Imagineers, or at least a few of them. And then I think it really broke wide open in 1989. A cast member wrote a story about hidden Mickeys in a cast newsletter. And then suddenly all the cast members knew about these things. So they started looking for them, and it sort of took off from there.
That's kind of interesting. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should do hidden Amelias around the house. Hidden Amelias, everyone can just see my face.
Well, we don't really have a silhouette. Well, actually, we do have a silhouette from you. We have two of them.
Is it really? Because I have two Disney ones.
Two of them.
Two's from Disney.
Two of them, those Disney silhouettes. So, of course, as any Disney traveler now knows, hidden Mickeys have gone mainstream.
We have hidden Mickeys in our backyard.
We have hidden Mickeys in our Disney Resort North backyard.
We have 4 of them.
And there are books about hidden Mickeys and websites about hidden Mickeys.
See, these books. What do you think about these books? I'm a little bit...
Well, let's get into that. What is a hidden Mickey? But first, I did find this, an official Disney news release that once described what hidden Mickeys are. So here's what Disney calls them. I'm going to read it. Like Easter eggs, hidden Mickeys have been placed secretly and not so secretly by Imagineers at locations across Walt Disney World Resort. Imagineers include hidden Mickeys when designing, building, or putting the finishing touches on a new attraction or hotel, hiding silhouettes, profiles, and other images of Mickey Mouse in murals, queue areas, and even golf course sand traps.
That's really cool.
So that's how they describe them. But here's where I start to disagree, and I think this is where you're going with some people's and some books. 3 circles is not automatically a hidden Mickey.
It's not how it works. Mickey does not have a giant ear, a tiny ear, and a gigantic head. That's not how Mickey looks.
And here's one that I take full debate with, and it might even be in that book you see, the yellow and black one, I think it is. But in the Polynesian, when you're going up the steps.
Oh, yeah?
Well, there's actually 2 sets of steps, but the ones...
I know the ones you're talking about.
Not the ones by Ohana, the ones on the other side.
The ones with the glass wall?
Yes, the ones with the glass wall. And halfway past the landing on the wall, there's all that bamboo. And there's a sort of a window frame.
There's a hidden Mickey there?
Well, there's all these, bamboo strips cut ends. So it's, 100 circles. Where obviously, if you put 100 circles together, 3 of them are going to eventually look like a Mickey. So was that a real intention? Did Imagineer intentionally create that as a hidden Mickey?
Probably not.
I don't think so. And some people say, oh, that's a hidden Mickey. And sometimes you get shadows that form cool hidden Mickeys. I do like when people post oh, look at this potato has 2 hidden Mickeys or stuff. We found didn't you find something on the beach? A shell or a stone that had been washed looked like a hidden Mickey. So those things are cool. But the point is, I used to say, if you have to ask, is that a hidden Mickey?
It's probably not.
It's probably not a hidden Mickey.
Also, another hidden Mickey, maybe not so hidden, is on Minnie Moo that we talked about in our last episode.
That's right. That was a not so hidden Mickey. So that's what I like to call it, the not so hidden Mickey. Just speaking of hidden Mickeys, Remember the cast member at Old Key West Resort?
Oh, yeah.
So I'll set it up.
I love this cast member.
So we were doing a tour at
So
Old
funny.
Key West, and it's a really good one. It's free, and they just sort of take you around the area.
And I thought it
there.
was going to be boring, but I was wrong.
Yeah, and it was really good. But in the railings at Old Key West in the villas, there are cut out Mickeys all through the railings.
Which is very nice.
Yeah,
Very
it's
beautiful.
really nice. So somehow we got onto hidden Mickeys because he was showing us some. And what did he say? Because I love this.
When there's 5,000 Mickeys in every building, they're not really that hidden anymore, are they?
He goes, some people call those hidden Mickeys, but
I like to call them decorative hidden Mickeys.
Yes,
so decorative Mickeys.
Yes, so we like to use that decorative Mickeys versus hidden Mickeys. So anyway, no one really knows, even Disney. There's no counting. There's no catalog of hidden Mickeys. They just sort of pop up. Imagineers didn't keep track of what they did. So no one really knows how many there are. And they also said, one cast member said, when things get renovated and stuff, hidden Mickeys are lost as well. So some that were there before probably no longer exist in certain places.
And maybe there are new ones.
And then there are always new ones popping up. And they're fun to hide. They're fun to find. So do you have any favorites of your own before I talk about my favorites? Or some classics I think people should really look for?
Well, I have a favorite, but I think that's probably the best one in the entire Walt Disney World. So I think we're going to save that for later.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. We'll get back to that at the end of the show. I think I know what you're talking about. Hollywood Studios, that one? Okay. But do you have any other classics that you like? Or do you want me to start?
I like the ones in the carpets. I just love those.
I was going to say that.
I think they're so cute. And you just walk and it's like, oh, look, there's a hidden Mickey. It's so pretty,
So this is maybe our first tip. If you're a skilled Disney traveler, you'll know where to look. But if you're not and you really don't know where to look, a good tip always is when you're in your hotel room. If you're in a Disney hotel, for starters, even at Disneyland too. This isn't just Disney World. There are hidden Mickeys at Disneyland, of course. Yeah, the carpets in Disney hotel rooms, or sometimes the curtains in the bathroom and the shower if there's a curtain, and also sometimes the photos, like sort of graphics in the bathroom. Those are all prime spots to look for hidden Mickeys, especially the carpets and the hallways too.
Yeah, I like the carpets in the hallways too because they're always different. They're different in every hotel, which I really like. It's not like a similar carpet, so they're very themed.
There's some very unique ones, in carpets and rooms. So those are always good places to look. And then, you can also ask cast members.
Yeah, I mean, they probably don't know each and every one of them. I mean, nobody does. But
they'll usually know a few.
Yeah,
and
they'll know a few good ones.
They'll definitely, they should. We'll see how good of a cast member they are. But a spot, pretty much every, especially deluxe hotel lobbies, have tons of hidden Mickeys.
Lobbies, they're everywhere.
And going back to Disneyland for a minute, the Grand Californian,
my gosh.
I think that lobby has to have the most hidden Mickeys of any lobby.
Oh, for sure.
There's tons of them.
I've seen like 20.
There's 20 of them just at the check-in area, right? Behind where the cast members when you're checking in, and also on the, I don't even know what you call those sort of tiles, glass blown tiles along the front. I think there's
lit up stencil tiles.
And there's even a hidden Tinkerbell in there too.
Yes.
But that's a great one. Grand Floridian in the wallpaper.
Yes.
Look there. That's one of my favorites. And even in Aulani in Hawaii in the wallpaper, there's a really, really cool one.
So really, maybe the hidden Mickeys aren't always in the decorations. Look at the foundation. Look at the floors. There's hidden Mickeys on the carpets of the hotels. There's hidden Mickeys on the walls of the hotels. They're not always in the decorations.
And you just said floors, and that is one of my most favorite hidden Mickeys of all. And I was worried we were going to lose it. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yes.
Which one?
I think the one in the Polynesian.
The Polynesian.
Yes.
When you walk in the front entrance into the lobby, look down on it's sort of tiled floor.
Look down.
Look down, but there is a gigantic hidden Mickey there. So when you walk into the Polynesian front door, there's a giant hidden Mickey right on the floor, carved out of those same stone tiles. And when they took the fountain out, I was worried it was going to be gone, but they kept it. So
it's still there.
It's still there. So that's one of my personal favorite hidden Mickeys because it just goes pretty far back. So
if you want a Polynesian hidden Mickey, look at the one on the floor, not the 50 in the bamboos.
Go see let me know what you think about those bamboos. But to me, that's, come on. I mean, if you're going to do that.
There are probably some hidden Mickeys. I don't think they were intentional.
It's like next time you go to quick service and you see a big thing of straws. Oh, look, there's 25 hidden Mickeys, right? It's not. So I'm I don't like that one. People call that out a lot. But anyway, that's just my opinion. What do I know? Okay, here's some of my cool favorite ones too. Haunted Mansion. There's a great one in the Haunted Mansion when you go up and you're looking down at the birthday party scene.
Oh, I think I know what you mean.
Do you know what it is?
I've seen it, but now I forget. What is it?
There's 3 plates
Yes.
arranged in a definite hidden
It's
Mickey
like the little
configuration.
dessert plates and then like the big plate.
Yes, exactly. I think it's to the far left. So it's
I
to
do
the
that
far
all
left.
the time with my plates.
As you're moving across the ride, you go from right till you're moving towards your left, and it's at the very end of the table. So watch for that one. And there's another one that I think we're gonna lose because it's in Splash Mountain.
Oh.
In the very, very final scene of Splash Mountain, there's a pink cloud floating above the Zippity lady, the paddle wheeler. And so look closely at that cloud.
I mean, after you get soaked?
Before you get soaked.
Oh, good, because I was going to say, nobody's paying attention after they get soaked.
No, it's before. Nobody's really paying attention before. It's Mickey lying on his back, as I recall, in a cloud scene.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, and nobody likes to see that because everyone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get wet.
Yeah.
Brace yourselves, I'm gonna get soaked."
That's
Nobody
the thing.
looks up.
You know who's good? Mummy's very good at spotting these.
Yeah.
So look, there's that a hidden Mickey. And even in movies, there's a lot of them, right? A lot of especially in the animated films, there's a lot of
So
hidden
if you
Mickey.
see something with a Disney logo or you're at Disney, chances are there's a hidden Mickey within sight.
Another one of my super, super favorite ones, and it's hard to find, but once you see it, it's awesome, which is sort of true with most hidden Mickeys, is in the Canada Pavilion at Epcot.
Oh.
Do you know where it is?
No, I don't think
You've
so.
seen all these, but you forget.
Yeah.
So in the totems, there's, the big totem poles?
Oh, yeah.
In the one closest to the shop, as I recall, on the left, if you look about halfway up, you've got to look way up the totem. It's an actual sort of, the cutout Mickey shape. So it's not obscure or weird. It's definitely a Mickey, but it is hidden amidst all the paint and graphics of the totem.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I will post some pictures of these.
Because you have to look up into
You
the
have
sun.
to look up and really see it. But once you spot it, I mean, that's a true hidden Mickey, and it's really, really cool. There's also one in Spaceship Earth,
Oh, I think
which you love.
I think I know which one you're talking. Yeah.
It's just after the loading area, and there's a the constellations.
Yeah.
There's a hidden Mickey in the constellations. Will those still another one? Some of these may get lost as these rides get reimagined, and of course in Soarin', the new Soarin' around the world.
Oh, come on. If you miss this one.
There's 2 of them, but there's
the main one. It's
which
very
one?
hard to miss
Which
the
one do you think?
balloons.
The balloons, the hot air balloons. They align into a hidden Mickey. Yeah, I think that's sort
And
of.
it's
cool.
only for a second or two,
It's
but
only
it's
for a second.
basically the entire thing
And
you're
then
looking
there's-
at for that scene. So.
And in the same, at the very end in the fireworks, they sort of go into a hidden Mickey as well.
Yeah.
But the balloons to me is more of a sort of cool hidden Mickey. Tower of Terror.
Ooh.
Do you remember this one?
No,
Walt Disney World Tower of Terror.
Oh,
that
okay.
is.
I was gonna say because it was if there was one in California Adventure, it's lost.
This is a more subtle one. So when when you go up the ride and sort of the pre-show and the car comes out and you see a family, watch at the little girl and look at what she's holding
Oh.
before she disappears. There's a great little hidden Mickey there. And right next door, there's 2, count them, 2 hidden Mickeys in Rock and Roller Coaster. And if they reimagine that ride, will these stay? But they're in the
Not one, but two.
But 2. So in the rotunda area before you're in there, there's a tile floor. Before you board, there's 2 hidden Mickeys at least in there. There may even be more. And then let's hop over to Animal Kingdom. There are quite a few at Animal Kingdom. So I can't even go through all of these, but there's so many of them, like carved into sort of animals and all sorts of things at Animal Kingdom. But there's one in, Pizzafari, the restaurant, in the mural on the wall, leopard spots. So watch the leopard spots. That's an easy one. And then when you go to Rafiki's Planet Watch, that's another place where it's sort of like the lobby of, we haven't done that for a long time. We have to go back to Rafiki's.
Yeah.
There's over 25 of them in there.
Yeah.
It's like
They're everywhere.
It's like the lobby of the Grand Californian. And I already talked about the Grand Floridian one, but those are some of my very favorites that I really like.
I think the moral of this is if you want to find hidden Mickeys, look down.
Look down, look up.
down.
Look down, look up. And then there's also those really sort of obscure but great ones. The most famous one being in the Ariel ride in the Magic Kingdom, where if you stand just right, 3 different pieces of stone at different sort of like far. They're not. They're not all lined up. They're, you have to be at the exact right angle to see it. The perfect angle where 3 different structures create a hidden Mickey.
That's one of my favorite ones. I'm really a big fan of that one.
That is, yeah. Unlike the other one, that one is that we talked about earlier. That one's really cool. But we did say on this, so hidden Mickeys are awesome, and everybody loves them. So look for them. I think the history of it's pretty neat. How it started, just a bunch of Imagineers playing around, and now it's become a fun game, and everybody loves to look for hidden Mickeys. And we talked about the hidden Pascals even in a past episode. Remember, in Corona and the Magic Kingdom. So there's lots of cool hidden stuff.
But hidden Mickeys aren't the only Imagineered things.
They are not. And these are not sort of hidden things in the same way, but there's 2 other things we wanted to sort of throw into this episode that I don't hear a lot about, especially this first one. We don't hear a lot about it, and I personally love it, so I wanted to share this. And these are such cool things that I don't think a lot of people notice, because I don't really see a lot written about them, but I take pictures of them, especially this first one. So do you know what that is? What is the first thing?
Are you going to say weather vanes?
Yes, the weather vanes and the spires on top of them.
You love weather vanes.
Listen, people, if you haven't spent any time looking up, look up. The weather vanes are so cool. There are some very cool ones, and they're not everywhere, but they're pretty spread out. The Grand Floridian has some awesome ones.
Oh.
Can you think of any that I've pointed out?
I feel like there's one in the pool area.
Well, these are weather vanes, so I'm not talking about hidden Mickeys anymore.
The weather vane.
So the weather vane, there's one that's in the wedding pavilion.
Yes.
This is actually sort of a classic one that I think is really cool. So when you're at the Grand Floridian Wedding Pavilion and you look up, the weather vane is a Cupid Mickey shooting an arrow, he's Cupid Mickey with the arrow in the heart, of course.
So there's a hidden Mickey and a weather vane all in one.
He's not really a hidden Mickey, right? It's just Mickey.
Do people see it?
Well, I guess he's hidden in plain sight.
Yes.
It is a really cool one. Well, the Grand Floridian has quite a few, and that one's at the wedding chapel. But if you look around at the other buildings, remember the Grand Floridian was originally called the Grand Floridian Beach. Yes. So the ones there, they're sort of odd to me, but they look like they have a sort of ship theme to them, sort of beachy. Like they look like ships with sails.
Exactly.
And there's one that is I think it's on the main building, and it has a clear Mickey cutout on it, like the silhouette Mickey, the 3 circles.
So not hidden.
Sort of cut out on a sail. Well, it's way up there. You've got to look up. And then the other ones they're hard to see, and I've tried to zoom in. I'm going to do a better job, but they look like they're squids in the sails. They're different than the Mickey one.
See, it's hard for me to look up because the sun's.
Yeah, you've got to
so I can't see.
You need a day with a nice sort of blue sky behind it to get some contrast. But I love the detail that goes into these weather vanes, and there's some really, really cool ones. There's one, in the Magic Kingdom, there's a ton of them.
Oh yeah, these ones I've actually seen.
And there's one that is a definite squid, and this one I think is a real throwback to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which was in this area, right? Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Ariel's Ride. Across from Ariel's Ride, there's that cartography little booth where King Triton, the statue is.
Yeah.
That weather vane is a squid, and the squid attacked the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea Nautilus. So that is a throwback by the Imagineers to the ride that used to be in that spot. So
that's really cool.
Definitely look for that one. And then Saratoga Springs Resort, going back to the resort hotels, has some cool weather vanes, and we did some of those.
You even used one very similar to On the Rocks at
and what
Saratoga.
Are they?
Horses.
Yes, those are the.
What else?
Of course, what else? So I've looked everywhere to buy some of these weather vanes. Nobody makes them. The horses are the only ones you can get because they're sort of standard weather vanes. So that's what we use, because On the Rocks, our bar in Disney Resort North, is themed after the On the Rocks pool bar at Disney Saratoga Springs Resort. The Haunted Mansion has a very, very cool weather vane. Do you know what it is?
Oh, I feel like it's a ghost. I've seen it, but I couldn't actually make out what it was.
It's not a ghost. It's pretty clear.
It's very up high for me.
It's very
a
up
bat.
high. It's a bat. Yeah, it's
Oh,
really cool.
I just thought it was like ghostly arms
No,
being
it's
scary.
it's a cool bat in the Haunted Mansion. And then in Fantasyland, right near there, there's some really, really, really cool ones. So, you know Pinocchio Village House where you get pizzas?
Yes.
This one, I had to look up why. So it's a witch. And I was going, why is there a witch on Pinocchio Village House? And then I think it's there because there's an epic Mickey video game, apparently. So I'm not a gamer, full disclosure, but in this epic Mickey video game, there was a witch named Mizrabel who imprisons Pinocchio, and Mickey Mouse saves Pinocchio, I mean.
Saves the witch.
No, he beats the witch and saves Pinocchio. So that witch is on the weather vane, and it's got to be related to that. And if it's not and somebody knows why the witch is there, let us know. But I'm pretty sure that's it. And then across the way in Fantasyland, the other weather vane there has a gigantic pirate ship. Why?
Ariel.
No, Peter Pan.
Oh.
Pan. Yeah.
Ariel. Well, Ariel's
not really
too.
A pirate ship. It was more just Eric's ship. But yeah.
How do you think Ursula dies, Daddy?
Is that pirate ship though, or it's just a ship?
Ship.
But this one is above Peter Pan's flight, so you know it's a definite pirate ship.
It has two meanings.
Yes, it could, yeah. But because of where it is, I'm calling pirate ship.
Yeah.
And then hopping over to Disneyland for another one of my favorites, in the Jolly Holiday Bakery at the end of Main Street on the left side, there is a really great weather vane. Do you know what that is?
No.
Jolly Holiday? It's Mary Poppins, and it's Poppins blowing in the wind, holding her umbrella up in the air, just like you used to do.
That's a total me. They should have that one above Sora, and they should have me with my hand up for my umbrella.
Amelia, when she was little and used to ride Sora and used to hold her hand up like she was
holding an umbrella.
And you would hum the song all throughout the ride. But then we would say shh, so you didn't sort of get some
disrupt the magic.
And now I think you know this one. One thing that was I always thought was strange, that on Main Street, USA, there really are where you'd think there'd be tons of potential for weather vanes. There aren't, but there are all those flags, and this is sort of a little side story. But why? Do you know this? Why those flags are different?
Don't think so.
I think you told me this once. You hear about this on one of the tours.
I have so many information.
But the flags on Main Street are not true American flags.
Oh, yes, I did know that.
They're all missing a star or a stripe. Do you remember why?
No, I don't remember why, but I knew that.
Because there are rules around how you're supposed to treat the American flag with lighting and raising and lowering and stuff. So they didn't want to have to do that, so they're faux flags.
That's smart.
Except for the one on the major flagpole where they do the proper flag ceremony every day. But on the top of those flags, if you look, there are eagles on the spires on the top of those flags on Main Street. So I think that's sort of neat. So definitely look up there. And of course, there's the windows on Main Street.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really cool because I knew there were some weather vanes because you always stopped to take pictures and you were pointing the camera up and it was like, what are you? Oh,
yeah, I love the weather vanes. So definitely look up.
What are you taking at? Oh, that's pretty.
One great one before we leave weather vanes.
Yes.
And go on to our final topic. Beach Club Resort.
Yes.
A really cool one. Hurricane Hannah's, which is the poolside grill at Stormalong Bay. She is holding a really, really cool and a sort of extravagant weather vane. So take a look for that one at Beach Club. And look all around for weather vanes at Disney because it's a really fun thing to do, to look up and see all the different Imagineering and creativity that went into that one, especially that witch one.
And you'll really be surprised how many there are. Like, I know there were a few for Imagineering purposes, but like there's probably one every 10 feet.
And they're they're like clustered.
There's so many and they're so
and
cool.
And then some hotels have none.
They're all different.
Yeah.
A lot of them are very different.
Some hotels will have none at all. So they don't overdo it, which I like. And now our final category of sort of hidden things. Where are we looking now?
Down.
Look down, people.
Like I said earlier.
Yes, look down. So Walt Disney goes way back to Walt. You know, the ground tells the story. It's part of the story. And he wanted
There's new ground in every land.
There's new ground in every land. And it can be different materials and different designs. And he wanted you to know you were entering a new land. But really, the ground is so cool, especially in all the parks. like an
I have to say,
Animal Kingdom.
probably one of the most Imagineered things.
It is really when you think about it. They have like different material, and for example, Dino Land in Animal Kingdom. It's all like it's because of what it's supposed to be. It's that asphalt sort of parking lot. And then in other parts, like in Africa, it's just sort of rough stone, and then there's tire tracks and everything because people ride a lot of bikes in some of those towns.
In Frontierland, there's like there's like the brick
Frontierland,
stone.
there's horse hooves and really sorts of cool things, and then some bear tracks as well.
Yeah,
it's really fun to look down. And Animal Kingdom has a lot of leaves and things that almost look like fossils in the ground. And there's also some really cool ones, like I don't know if you've ever noticed this, outside of, there's actually some really cool things in the ground around the Haunted Mansion. So that horseless carriage out front where you can take a photo with the ghost horse?
Yeah.
If you look on the ground, there's all these horse hoof tracks where the ghost horse is standing.
That's cool.
And then there's another really, really one of the coolest things there. And I'm not sure if I've ever even pointed it out to you. This was actually reimagined when they changed remember when they upgraded the queue a few years ago and put all the interactive stuff in?
Yeah.
So there is the engagement ring of our favorite bride, Constance. It is embedded in the ground.
Which one?
And it's sort of by the exit, outside the exit. You've really got to look.
Just one? Only one?
There's only one.
But she has 7.
It's the diamond. Yeah, there's only one. And there was a little one. And then when they redid it, they added a bigger one. And it's sort of embedded right in the ground. And it's a really, really...
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool thing.
Is it a real diamond?
Yeah. I don't know.
A real diamond?
Knowing Disney, you never know. But yeah, definitely take a look for that. That's one of my favorite cool things hidden in the ground.
So now that we found most cool things, let's take a look at the best hidden Mickey ever.
Are you going to disclose it here? We know, there's so many hidden Mickeys, so I think we should keep that one hidden. So we're going to put that on our Patreon site.
Yes, we're starting Patreon, people.
Yeah, we're starting on Patreon. So we're going to disclose this one. This one on there, not here. This one, if you don't know about it, you can't possibly find it. And to be honest, I didn't know about it.
This is the best hidden Mickey ever.
I think it's so creative. As Star Wars related, and we learned about it on
I think it's fantastic.
The Star Wars tour, which is not running currently.
Yeah.
But if it ever comes back, definitely do it. It's a great tour, and it's a real super hidden Mickey, and you have to go through some hoops to find it. It's not just out in the open, but we'll tell you more about that on another website.
And so go check out our Patreon page. All of the information about Patreon is on our video.
Yes. And we love all the support we get from you, regardless of how you do it. We hope you just share, if you enjoy our shows, with your friends. Let people know we're here. Yeah, we're on patreon.com/1923 Main Street. And of course, 1923mainstreet.com and all over social media at 1923 Main Street.
We're everywhere.
Pretty much on every channel. So check us out, meet us online, tell us some of your favorite hidden Mickeys or some that you don't know about or other hidden things that there's so much to discover. And this is why we say don't rush through the parks. Take time to look around. The Disney difference truly is the details.
And instead of getting annoyed at a 3-hour line, maybe look around the attraction.
That is a good tip.
Mickeys.
That is a very, very good tip.
You should try that.
So yeah.
You should try not getting focused on the lines.
I should try taking my own advice or listening to your tips.
Oh,
rather.
well, yes.
Anyway,
well,
we hope you
should.
We hope you like this one. We'd need far too long to discuss every possible hidden Mickey out there, and there's so many.
We don't even know them all.
We don't even know them all.
We don't even know close to.
We just know some of our favorites, yeah. And there's some, Big Thunder has a bunch in the rocks. They're just all over the place, but some are going away. So if you're going to Splash before they reimagine it, watch for that one because that'll be disappearing. That's a pretty cool one. And we'll see what new ones appear in the reimagined Splash. So anyway, everyone, thank you for joining us on this tour into hidden gems all across, up, down, and everywhere in between at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. And hotels like Aulani and everywhere else.
With our secret surprises
to come. So thanks, everyone. Have a magical day, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.